Good afternoon and hello everyone. We are from Group 6. Today I want to introduce to you one of the most popular economists who is Alfred Marshall. He is the greatest figure in neoclassical school and popularized the modern dynamic approach to economics. He seeks to combine the best of classical with marginalist and hence practicing neoclassical. A little bit about his background. He was born in 1842 and he grew up in the London suburb of Clapham. His father was a cashier in Bank of England, and fun fact about his father tried to banish mathematics from Marshall and picked for his career. In terms of education, he educated at the Merchant Taylor School and St. John College, Cambridge. In the Cambridge, he devoted himself in mathematics, physics, and later on economics. On his early career, he was elected as a fellowship at St. John College, Cambridge in 1865. Then in 1868, he became a lecturer in moral science, and up until 1885, he became professor in political economy. Now, let's take a look on his contribution to the economy. The first contribution is on utility and demand, where he said demand is based on the law of diminishing marginal utility. He also didn't regard that marginality is not the only determinant of demand and demand price. They must also interact in the market. Plus, he solved the problem that utility cannot be measured because when we assume MU of money is fixed, we can measure it by price. Thus, more expensive give you more utility. Price of money has greater MU to poor person than rich person because they has less money, so they will appreciate more. He also used the idea of rational consumer choice by Jevon and Menger, but he successfully tied this equi-marginal rule with contemporary law of demand, which is MU per P of good X must be equal to MU per P of other good. If price of X falls, so MUX per P will be more, so rational consumer will substitute more of X for less than other goods. He also focused on substitution effect and income effect, and these two concepts become clearer only later. Next part is about consumer surplus, which is based on the law of diminishing utility. It is the excess of the price that a consumer would be willing to pay rather than go with a commodity over that which he actually pay. This consumer surplus is very good in analyzing several economic phenomena as tariff and others. The last part is about elasticity of demand, which is the sensitivity of demand to the price changes. It can be elastic, inelastic, or unit elastic. For the next contribution, we have supply. Supply is constituted by the cost of production. Marshall divides the cost into real costs and monetary costs. Then he also divides time into three periods, which is immediate present, short run, and long run. For immediate present, there is no time allowed for adaptation to continue supply to changes in demand, so our market supply curve is perfectly inelastic. Then for the short run, he divides costs into two costs, which is fixed cost and variable cost. Short run is a period where variable input can be changed, but fixed cost cannot be changed, so short run supply curve slope upward. For the long run, all costs are variable and they must be covered if firm wants to continue the production. Then, for a third contribution is equilibrium price and quantity, where he combined classical and marginalist school, so both demand and supply determine market prices. He put forward the theory of equilibrium, where he pointed out that when supply and demand reach equilibrium, output and price also reach equilibrium. This can be shown with numerical representation or graphical representation. He also focused on the influence of time factor on the equilibrium price, where he divides time into temporary, short-term, and long-term. So there are three corresponding prices. For instantaneous prices, supply is limited, so demand play a regulating role. For the short-term prices, demand and supply have an equal effect. For long-term prices is mainly determined by the cost of production. And distribution of income is one of his contribution, which is determined by pricing of factor of production. He based his analysis on the diminishing return. First income is wages. Wages is the equilibrium price of labor factor. Demand price of labor is the price that capitalists are willing to pay, while the supply price of labor is the price that workers can accept and is determined by the cost of labor. Next, we will look at the 4 law of derived demand by Marshall, summarized by Pigo. Next is interest. Interest is the equivalent price of capital, where demand price of capital is determined by the marginal productivity of capital. Then profit. Profit is the economic price of organization and enterprise management and management capability. Later is land. Land is special because the supply price is fixed, so it is determined by the demand. And Marshall included recurrent rent theory in the land. His last important contribution is increasing and decreasing cost industry. His key analytical tool is using concept of representative firm, or we call century sole proprietorship. The first is to refer the expenses of representative policy as one is neither most efficient or least efficient, and the industry can be in lumber equilibrium even though it's declining or growing, and the present firm may not be increasing its internal efficiency. Then he also see the life cycle of business enterprise, where he took a dynamic view of the growth and decline of business enterprise. Next, there are two types of economic scale, which is internal and external. Internal is dependent on the results of the individual houses of business engaged, where external economy are external to a firm and accrue to it when the size of industry expands. This is related to the 5 types of economy as shown below. Next, he also introduced 3 types of return to scale, which is increasing return to scale, decreasing return to scale, and also constant return to scale. This led him to the welfare effect of taxes and subsidy. Next part, we will talk about how Alfred Marshall approach affect the environment of modern economic system. This is his work, which is very popular and being used until today. And this work has influenced many of educators and economists all over the world because on how he explained theory. He also the first to develop supply and demand graph. His ideas soon emulated by other educators worldwide. And that will be the end of our presentation today from Growth C. Thank you.